Welcome back to the 10 steps that any first-time homebuyer needs before they start to even think about buying their first home. And surprise, lots of the best steps are not things that you're going to find on the internet. That's because the internet's usually trying to sell you something, not inform you. But today's episode, we're going to go over some of the helpful internet tools that are out there so you can know what information is right for you. Let's get into that.
How to Buy a Home educates, protects, and connects first-time homebuyers to qualified vetted realtors in their area. Whether you're looking for DIY information or step-by-step guidance, How to Buy a Home is the #1 resource for first-time homebuyers.
What's happening, homies? David Sidoni back with you for step 8, and I can hear some of you now. What the Sidoni? You told me all those stories about people making the huge mistake of doing way too much online research before they hired their team, trying to do this all on their own when they don't have to. And now this step is about using the internet on my own? I thought you said you were going to make this whole home buying experience less confusing. Well, okay. First of all, thank you very much for your honesty. And I'm fully aware that I told you not to waste months or even years researching this process online. However, these are the tips that you can do while you're working with an experienced support team on the big 3. It's a team effort. And this episode goes over things that go beyond credit score, debt, and savings and loans and interest rates and all that stuff. I'm assuming you've already got your unicorn partnership all set up. So now we're going to really dig into tools that help you find the right neighborhoods and homes. The first thing to keep in mind is that figuring out the neighborhoods and types of homes that are going to be right for you, that's a partnership with your realtor. Yes, your realtor's going to already have some information and they are going to set appointments for you and they'll even do boots on the ground research for you. But my friends, we live in a digital age and you can do so much researching on your own. Bring that to the table, work together, and be that much more ahead in the game. So yeah, did you hear that, homies? Your internet stalking skills finally come in handy. Do you over-research every purchase and every vacation to death? Good. We can use that. Do you window shop on Zillow looking for the perfect kitchen or the perfect man cave? Great, we can use that too. And if you think all the time you spend creeping on your exes online is unhealthy, well, actually that is. But now we can use your superpower for good instead of ick. Way back in May of 2019, it was all the way back in episode number 10. One of my dear friends taught me a valuable lesson. Most people think that when you're pregnant, it is much, much too stressful to shop for a home. And it's impossible to do it right after you have the child. Well, actually, my friend Molly from episode 10, she found that her maternity time was an excellent time to go online and shop homes and shop neighborhoods. She used her last trimester to do some valuable and efficient online research. And once the baby was born, she even figured out how to capitalize on nap time to get some research done. Coming to you today with 20 years of first-time homebuyer coaching with feedback, tips, and hacks that my buyers have shared with me over the years. And keep in mind, if you are listening to this in the future, I'm recording this as of today at the end of 2025, and I'm sure that some of the sites could have changed over time. In fact, at the end of 2025 here, I ended up doing a YouTube video on this. So you can go to the How to Buy a Home YouTube channel, see if that one's dropped yet, and get some more information about how to use the internet to buy your first home. One of the things you can do when you're online is to sleuth different neighborhoods. Now, your realtor can give you some ideas, but only you know where you feel safe, where you feel comfy and joyful and content. So do that online research yourself and then maybe just compare the notes with your realtor. It's your home, so your opinion matters. So get out there and do some of the research. And some great sites to do that, to check out neighborhoods, schools, crimes, walk scores, all that stuff. It's all in Molly's Secrets. And it's been updated to a new episode 227. It's all there, and I'm going to put it in the show notes for you. There's a couple of updates for 2025 for sure. One is that Homes.com is fast becoming one of the biggest players in the game. It rivals Zillow, Redfin, and Realtor.com. And in episode 227, I go into detail on how to properly use all the big boy home sites, how to use them to your advantage, and just as important, how not to get captured by them as they're trying to steer you into their inferior realtors and lenders who paid to be recommended on their sites, and how to avoid the worst offense, the avalanche of spam from online sites. And speaking of skeezy, don't know if you heard about it, but back in 2024, there was a gigantic shakeup in real estate with a huge lawsuit. The lawsuit itself was just actually a giant shakedown by some class action lawyer so they could make $200 million. But the unfortunate result is there is a ton of misinformation out there. And worse, now there are new online sites offering extreme door opener a la carte buyer agent service. When you see sites offering a la carte buyer agent realtor service, run. Close your laptop or your phone. Clear your cookies, your history, and your caches. These people are evil. And they will do lower than the bare minimum. If you can get lower than that, they found a way to do it. And you don't have to take that. That's really gross, but it's not new. Because for 20, 25 years now, internet companies have been trying to sell you that you don't need a team on your side. They try to tell you that thanks to their incredible website, which, by the way, is fully built to sell you something, they're telling you you can do this all on your own. Well, as of 2025, a buyer agent, someone that you hire for yourself to be your advocate and protector, that's still a thing. And the data is in, and it shows that the seller is still paying for most or all of their fees. So, I don't know, sports analogy. Why not hire Patrick Mahomes or Steph Curry if you have the chance? It doesn't cost you any more than going out and buying somebody from the bench, or worse, the minor leagues, or worse, from the YMCA rec. So don't believe the hype that the internet options are better for you. They just aren't. All right, enough of that rant. The top list of all the sites that you can use to get a whole bunch of cool information for first-time homebuyers. It's all there in 227. Everything found by me, the unicorns, and recommendations from buyers who have been through the process themselves and have cool tools and tips and tricks that help them in their first-time home buying process. So you got your homework. And of course, remember, when you're diving into this research right now, it's not an excuse for your over-researchers to skip steps, and then you go down an internet rabbit hole yourself. And look, I know researching neighborhoods and stuff like that, it's way more fun than finances. But lock down the last least ever financial side first. Put that financial cart way ahead of the home and neighborhood shopping horse. Put that financial planning cart way ahead of the home and neighborhood shopping horse. Because that's the best thing for you. Because remember, we talked about it. The financing tactics, they take time to grow all the advantages for you. That neighborhood and home information, it's still going to be there in a few months. So use your time in the wisest of ways. Start with all those financial steps and lean into your guides to get set up on those financial steps in the best way possible. This will help develop trust. You're going to have the huge advantage of multiple people working on these final steps. The support system is going to supercharge your finances early, and then it's going to do the same thing for your neighborhood home sleuthing. You'll be multitasking with a caring real estate support team. Some would say with unicorn-like qualities, you could start your planning early and take advantage of the major elements of your finances. So there you go. Now you're ready to hit the internet the right way. Keep going. And of course, as always, you can follow all these steps and do things on your own, or you can go to howtobuyahome.com and ask for your local unicorn team. And then when you got your unicorns, you can use episode 227 and have some fun on the internet and do the really cool stuff, looking for houses. So check that out. And then afterwards, if you like what you hear and you're new here, a quick written review on Apple or Spotify, it really helps us get the word out to grow this revolution, helping all the ignored, aspiring first-time home buyers. It would really mean a lot to me and a lot to them for them to find it. So if you have a moment, write us a review. I appreciate it. Keep learning, gang. Confidence is the key. You can do this.
Looking for more DIY education or your own personal step-by-step guidance through the home buying journey? Since 2019, How to Buy a Home has been the #1 resource for first-time home buyers. So visit howtobuyahome.com to get started.